From our studio located in Madison, New Jersey, this is Real Good News.
I'm like the man they call a seeker. I'm a real truth speaker, and I always cut right to the core. And you know I really ask, 'cause I get right to the facts and get the answer to what I'm looking for. I can pronto peg a lie, I'm a tireless and quiet. I've been a furious thinker since my youth. My mold is on above ground. I've always been a bloodhound for the truth. The truth. You can learn.
Welcome to another episode of Real Good News, your local news show for Northern New Jersey. Today we are stepping outside the studio and into fresh air, bringing you this episode from outdoors for a change of pace and a new perspective. Spring has sprung and it feels good. It's a great day to be outside and we are excited to share it with you. As always, we're here to highlight the positive stories, the people, the moments happening right here in our communities. And before we get started, don't forget to like our show and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all the good news we bring your way.
Coming up on Real Good News, AI is entering the classroom, but is it helping teachers and students or hurting them? Experts say the answer isn't so simple. I'll be back with more later on.
Spring is here. Time to get out those e-bikes and start riding again, right? Well, not so fast. There is still the matter of this messy, terrible e-bike law that the state recently passed. I'm Alan Swanson, and today I'll take another look to see if it is even possible for riders to comply with the new laws and regulations.
This next story is especially close to home. The short film Company, starring our own Georgette Castro, premiered at the Grove Film Festival in Jersey City on March 25th, where she received the award for Best Actress.
Oh my God. Well, like you say, short and sweet. I just won an award. Mom, thank you. And thank you, my love. And of course, Mortenveld Productions for believing in me, writing this story. I hope you guys had the chance to see it. It's a beautiful story. It's fun. It's cute. Something that sometimes you don't see anymore. And yeah, go and watch it. Thank you.
Since its premiere, the film has continued to gain momentum on the festival circuit. Company has been selected for the Bernardsville Film Festival, where it has been screened on Friday, April 24th at 7 p.m. It has also been selected for the Myrtle Beach International Film Festival, with a screening scheduled on Thursday, April 23rd, marking its official Southeast premiere. Additional upcoming screenings, including Red Bank during the weekend of May 1st, the Boca's Film Festival in Florida, and the Folkestone Film Festival in England on April 26th, and the Liberty Film Festival in Athens, Greece this June. Anyone jealous? I certainly am. More screenings are expected to be announced as the film continues its run. Congratulations to Georgette Castro and the entire team of the Mortenveld Productions. For full transparency, Mortenveld Productions is also the team behind this Real Good News production.
The Borough of Madison held another public meeting about the plan to rebuild Waverly Place. The goal is to make the area safer, easier to use, and better for the community. Officials talk about many important topics. These include access for people with disabilities, a traffic study, and upgrades to utilities for each building. They also discuss possible costs and how this project could affect taxes. Changes to traffic are a big part of the plan. This includes updates to turning lanes, better access for emergency vehicles, and clear areas for delivery. Parking spaces and storm weather drainage were also discussed, along with plans to improve tree canopy. The project will also include new underground systems like conduit and junction boxes. This will make it easier for buildings to upgrade in the future without major disruptions. Design plans include bump outs at both ends of the street to improve safety. Speed bumps were also suggested to help slow down traffic. Double parking was also a major topic. Some businesses depend on it, but others say it is unsafe. It remains a hot button issue. The center median is also still being debated, with mixed opinions from the community. Some members of the public strongly urge that a full traffic study be completed before final decisions are made. The project is still in planning stage, and more dates are expected as plans move forward.
This month, Union County is offering women looking to take their safety into their own hands a chance to do just that. The Union County Board of County Commissioners and the Union County Sheriff's Office are partnering up to offer a free self-defense class for women ages 18 and up. The class will take place on Wednesday, April 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the John H. Stamler Police Academy in Scotch Plains. The class is designed to provide those who participate with confidence, awareness, and practical skills that will leave them feeling empowered. The session, which is led by trained law enforcement professionals, is beneficial for those who want to build confidence, gain extra safety knowledge, or become more proactive about self-protection. Space for the class is limited, and registration is required. While not necessary, it is recommended to register with a friend or family member, as some portions of the class involve partnered practice. Those who wish to take part in the hands-on portion of the class must fill out a waiver, and comfortable clothing is advised. To learn more and register for this event, please visit the link shown on your screen.
The Morris County Office of Planning and Preservation has opened applications for the Morris County Preservation Trust Fund. This program started in 1994. Since then, it has helped protect over 18,000 acres of land in Morris County. The fund also supports farms, historic places, county parks, and homes in areas that flood. This year, the program will give more than $6 million in grant. The money will help protect about 192 acres of land in 3 towns. All 39 towns in Morris County can apply. Some nonprofit groups can also apply. This year, all application must be done online. The deadline to apply is June 12th. For more information, please visit the website shown on your screen.
This spring, Union County is showing support for the arts through numerous grants. The Union County Board of County Commissioners recently announced that 44 organizations will receive funding via the Union County Local Arts Grant Program of 2026. Together, the multiple grants awarded equal a total of $300,500. This is a large piece of the $434,400 Local Arts Program grant awarded to Union County by the New Jersey State Council of the Arts. ACP Arts Inc., Concord Singers, Elizabeth Youth Theater Ensemble, Queen City Film and Television Workshop, and Summit Free Public Library are just some of the organizations that will receive support from the Local Arts Grant Program. Union County Commissioner Chair Joseph C. Bodak called the grants an investment in organizations that bring people together, inspire creativity, and enhance quality of life across Union County. Words that couldn't be more true. And we here at Mortenveld Productions would like to extend our warmest congratulations to all the organizations that were awarded the grant.
On Wednesday, March 25th, the Morris County Board of County Commissioners unanimously adopted the county's 2026 budget. The budget maintains deliberate investments in public safety, education, human services, and infrastructure, as well as fixed county tax rate for the 7th year in a row. Highlights of the 2026 budget include $86 million invested in public safety, $40.7 million in health and human services, and $1.1 million in increasing education.
Later this month, Union County residents will have the opportunity to learn more about how to keep themselves and their loved ones safe. In recognition of National Alcohol Awareness Month in April, the Union County Board of County Commissioners has partnered with the Department of Human Services and New Hope Integrated Behavioral Health Care and Prevention Links to present a free, informative webinar. The presentation, titled Community Conversation Promoting Alcohol Awareness and Prevention, is aimed at adults and teens but open for anyone to attend. It focuses on educating attendees on prevention efforts for adults and preventative techniques for adolescents. As part of the interactive live session, questions from the audience are encouraged. Those who plan on attending can submit their questions anonymously beforehand by emailing obhms@ucnj.org. Union County will also raise awareness on alcohol misuse, overuse, and prevention measures during April by lighting the courthouse in red from April the 20th to the 24th and hanging banners honoring the month in the lobby of the County Administration Building in Elizabeth. As for the free webinar, it is scheduled to be live streamed via Zoom and the County of Union Facebook page on Tuesday, April 21st from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. To learn more about the event and register for free, please visit the link shown on your screen.
In late March of 2026, the Morris County Public Safety Complex expansion was recognized in an annual awards program that honors construction projects across New Jersey. Commissioner Director Stephen Schott and Deputy Director John Kirkus attended the 15th annual ceremony held by New Jersey Alliance for Action. There, the Morris County project was highlighted by the Alliance for Action President Jerry Keenan. The project is currently close to completion and a ribbon cutting ceremony is planned for later this year.
Union County is continuing its celebration of autism acceptance with a fun-filled day. On April 25th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Union County will host its annual Autism Acceptance Celebration and Resource Fair on Turf Field and Weranaco Park in Roselle, New Jersey. The event, held in April to recognize Autism Acceptance Month, is meant to spread awareness while celebrating individuals experiencing autism and other sensory sensitivities. The celebration is superhero-themed, and those who attend are encouraged to come in costume. In addition to numerous outdoor activities, the event will include games, giveaways, a live DJ, a touch-a-truck experience, and light refreshments. In order to bring the celebration to life, the Union County Board of County Commissioners partners with the Department of Human Services, the Office for Persons with Disabilities and Special Needs, Elizabeth Public Schools, and several other organizations. The 2026 Autism Acceptance Celebration and Resource Fair is free to attend. However, pre-registration is required. In order to register, please visit the link or dial the number shown on your screen.
Starting Monday, road work will begin in Randolph Township. A new gas main is set to be installed on Millwork Avenue between Quaker Church Road and South Morris Street. As a result, the aforementioned stretch of road will be closed. The project is being executed by Gray Supply Corp. Under New Jersey natural gas contract and is part of a wide gas system update. Work on the road will occur Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the roadway will be open again at the end of each workday. Residents, school buses, sanitation vehicles, and other essential services will be permitted limited access through the zone. The project is expected to be finished in early July should the weather permit it. Until then, drivers should use caution and follow posted detours when in the area. Furthermore, Morris County recommends that extra travel time and alternate routes should be taken in consideration. For Real Good News, I'm Georgette Castro.
This month, we're continuing our coverage of how you can engage in Union County's seasonal recycling program. Union County's series of 2026 seasonal recycling events started up in March of this year and will continue through April. The program is intended to help residents properly dispose of unwanted, expired, or hazardous items while promoting sustainable waste management practices. The first of these opportunities is Union County's free paper shredding event, which take place annually between March and October. These events bring mobile paper shredding trucks to various venues within Union County. Any resident of the county can bring their personal documents to one of these venues and have them shredded on site. The next paper shredding event will take place on Wednesday, April 8th at Blackbrook Park in Kenilworth. The event is scheduled to last from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. should trucks reach capacity. Additionally, Union County's seasonal scrap metal recycling and hazardous waste disposal programs will begin in April. While the first scrap metal event is scheduled for Thursday, April 2nd, the next is scheduled for Saturday, April 18th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Scrap metal events will continue on the first Thursday and third Saturday of each month through November. Meanwhile, Union County's first household hazardous waste event will occur on Saturday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information regarding all of these recycling events, as well as a complete schedule, please visit the link or dial the number shown on your screen. For Real Good News, I'm Xavier Reed.
Many homeowners and business owners believe they are fully protected by their insurance policies, but the reality can't be more complicated. The details often lie in the fine print and misunderstanding what is or isn't covered that can lead to serious financial consequences when disaster strikes. National investigations, including reports by 60 Minutes, have highlighted how confusing insurance policies can be and why it's so important for policyholders to truly understand their coverage. Today, we're speaking with an expert who helps individuals and businesses better understand their insurance protection, what their policies actually cover, what potential gaps might exist, and what steps people can take now to avoid surprises later.
Thank you,
Hi, Mark.
Diane. Hi, Diane. My name is, again, Mark Grossman. I am a contractor under an organization called Metro Public Adjustment. We are nationwide, and I'm here to answer your questions and educate you.
Wonderful. So let's start with the basics. Many people have heard of public adjusters. Can you tell us what they are and what you do?
So there are three kinds of adjusters in the world. There are adjusters who are in-house or work for the home insurance and business insurance providers. There are then the so-called independent adjusters, and as the name would make you think, supposedly they can work for anybody, but they can't. They can only work for the insurance company. So those two of the three adjusters work not for the customer, not for the policyholder, but for the insurance company. The public adjuster is hired by the homeowner on a case-by-case basis and works for that homeowner specifically.
And who do insurance company adjusters work for? And who do
Themselves.
you represent? They represent themselves?
The insurance companies want to keep your money in their pockets. They will do everything they can, as has been indicated by the Senate hearings that you mentioned that Senator Healy had. As CBS's 60 Minutes determined, they are cutting their payments and they are changing verbiage in their policies to make sure they don't have to pay you back the money that they should be paying you. My job is multiple. First, I am here to educate you on what the policy actually says and what you're actually going to get. My job is to find where you're paying things you should not be paying, and my job is to make sure you understand everything so that when a situation does happen, you can be properly represented and get the maximum settlement that you deserve.
What is the worst scenario that people can go through?
The worst scenario that people can go through is they call up the 800 number, and what they don't know when they call the 800 number for their insurance provider is that there is generally a voice-based system that records everything and automatically opens up a case against you. And that case is processed, money is shifted into escrow accounts, which earn a higher interest, and they open up a case and then they tell you you're not covered. So you walk away from that thinking you don't have a case. The records, which all the insurance providers share, say you do have a case. They have money in an escrow account gaining interest, and after a year, when they pull that money out of the escrow account, because it is an insurance settlement, it is tax-free and they get a tax-free bump in their earnings. And at the end of the year, they have a party celebrating their failure to service you.
Give me an example.
A customer of mine down in Maple Shade, New Jersey, was out camping. He planned on being out there for a week. There were rain, there were storms. It was terrible. He gets home, he opens up the storm doors, he takes the clean bag of stuff, he goes down the steps. After he steps off the last step, plunk, he steps into 4 inches of water. He has a sump pump in his basement. For some reason, the sump pump has not activated. The first thing he did was call the 800 number for his insurance. He says to her, I have 4 inches of water in my basement. What can I do? And she then immediately responds, would you say your basement is flooded? Now, why did she say that? She said that because if he says the basement is flooded as I mentioned earlier in our conversation is covered by FEMA and therefore not covered by the insurance company. And so he says, yeah, I guess it's flooded. So she has now steered him in the direction she is paid to get him to go. As soon as he says, yes, I guess my basement is flooded, she says, well, flooding is not covered by our insurance. It's covered by FEMA. You have to call your FEMA provider. And she hangs up on him at 2 a.m. in the morning. He instantly called me. And I'm telling you, I'm thrilled being called at 2:15 in the morning, being woke up out of sleep. But I've dealt with him before. It's not a problem. And he tells me what happened. I was like, well, what happened to your sump pump? And I know that his insurance company's representatives know he has a sump pump. It's on his policy. And he says, well, there was a storm in my home area too, and the power was out, so the sump pump never came on. I'm like, okay, that is covered by your insurance policy. So the woman on the phone may not have been aware of the details because, again, just a night operator who doesn't check any paperwork, but she lied to him technically. Not intentionally, but technically she lied to him and told him he's not covered. If he had not called me, then he would not have had coverage. He would not have been paid for his loss, and he would have had to pay out of pocket for all the damage.
So would you say that you and other policy adjusters are very helpful and supportive with people like the story you just told?
90% of the time, we are very supportive. Sometimes we get a little arrogant ourselves. And, the fact is, when John Doe tells me the only reason you're coming out here is to make money off of me, I point out to him, if he's paying $5,000 for his insurance policy and he's not getting made whole by his insurance provider, I'm not the one who's stealing money from him. I'm not the one who's out there taking money from him. That gentleman who's paying $5,000 a year has never had a claim. His insurance company is getting $5,000 a year just to sit and laugh at him. I'm here and I will get not just a payment from them, but I will work with my team to get the largest possible payment on his behalf. Do I get a share of that? Yes. I am 100% contingent. I don't get paid unless you get paid.
When somebody files insurance, would they hire you as well, or are you hired at the time when there is some kind of issue or catastrophe where they're not able to collect their settlement, when they have issues?
Well, we can be hired before, during, and after. So if you have a disaster right now at home and you pick up the phone and you say, Mark, I need your help, my team will come in. We will tell you what is covered and what is not covered. And if it's not covered, we're going to make sure that your insurance company never hears about it and you owe us nothing, and that's it. We're done. If we come in during, which means you've already notified the insurance company that there is an issue, then we notify the insurance company we are now representing you. We take over the case and we begin again working for the largest possible settlement.
So what would your advice be to people who are having these issues, or who are even starting or deciding to make an insurance contract for homeowners and business policies?
I would say that 42.7% of the claims reported by a home or business owner in 2024 were denied flat out for no reason that was valid. And I would say that in this day and age, unfortunately, it is almost absolutely required that a home or business owner who has suffered damage to their property needs to get representation. Do you want a lawyer? In Louisiana and Alabama, you have to have a lawyer because the state mandates that you cannot hire a public adjuster in those states. The public adjuster must be a lawyer. In every other state in the union, you need a public adjuster to represent you because more and more they're finding little ways to add verbiage to their policies which will prevent you being covered.
So where can people find you and public adjusters if they need so?
Well, Metro, and that's the insignia. I am a independent contract employee with Metro. So I serve based on their umbrella, but I have my own license, I have my own certifications, I have my own insurance, and they can reach me at Mark, M-A-R-C, D, Grossman, Grossman, at Gmail, and they can email me and say, Mark, I've got a problem. They can call me at 732-261-7839.
I'm Diane Smith Kirsch for Real Good News.
For Real Good News, I'm Tommy Nonenmaker. So high school baseball is officially back across Morris and Union counties, with opening week delivering plenty of fireworks, big performances, and dramatic finishes. So in Hanover Park High School, the Hornets wasted no time making a statement to start the 2026 season. Hanover Park erupted for 15 runs in a commanding 15-6 victory over crosstown rival Whippany Park High School on Monday. After falling behind early, the Hornets broke the game wide open with a 7-run third inning and never looked back. The offense stayed hot the rest of the way, adding runs in the 4th, 6th, and 7th innings to cap a dominant showing. Rocco Zerpoli led the charge with a perfect 4-for-4 day at the plate and 4 RBIs, while Ryan Mendez and Vincent Dory added strong all-around efforts. On the mound, Jack Kovacs helped stabilize things with scoreless innings before Dory closed the door late. Hanover Park also took advantages on the defensive struggles by Whippany Park, which committed 7 errors in the game. Over in Parsippany, Parsippany High School also opened the season in impressive fashion, defeating Boonton High School 8-3. Parsippany jumped out early, scoring twice in the first inning before exploding for 6 more in the second to take full control. Jacob Camacho scored twice to lead the offense, while Alex McBride delivered a key hit with 2 RBIs. Deanna Reagan added a pair of hits as Parsippany combined timely hitting with patience at the plate, drawing 7 walks. On the mound, Mason Alameda struck out 7 for 4 innings to earn the win, and Nicholas Sacco dominated the relief, striking out 6 over 3 scoreless innings to seal the victory. And in one of the most exciting games of the week, Summit High School delivered late-game drama in a 10-9 win over Gill St. Bernard's School on Wednesday. Summit built an early lead, but saw it slip away in the 6th inning as Gill St. Bernard surged ahead. Trailing in the final at-bat, the Hilltoppers responded with a 3-run 7th inning to reclaim the lead, then held on to secure the win and improve to 2-1 on the season. Opening week made one thing clear. High school baseball is back, and it's already delivering must-watch moments from across the region. Back to you.
And now here is Steve Lebecken from State Broadcast News. Take it away, Steve.
Thanks, Lisa. Ready or not, AI is entering the classroom. But is it helping teachers and students or hurting them? Experts say the answer isn't so simple. Bruce McLaren is a professor at Carnegie Mellon University studying AI in education for more than 20 years. He says we know students can use AI to write papers or solve problems, sometimes without really learning. But he says it also provides 24/7 access to tutoring and learning resources, giving more students a chance to succeed. For teachers, McLaren says AI can help grade, make schedules, even draft lesson plans, so they can spend more time with students overall. He says AI works best as a companion tool. So, Dr. McLaren, today we're talking about AI in education. How do you see it helping teaching and learning?
With any new technology introduced to humankind, there are pros and cons. So it's impossible to say, at least at this point, whether AI in education will be a net positive or a net negative. But I should start by clarifying that AI has been around for a long time. I've personally been involved in working with AI for more than 30 years. But it's only recently that Gen AI, and in particular in 2022, when it burst onto the scene with large language models, and it has led to these like dramatic new possibilities. Gen AI, for those who don't know, it refers to generative AI that can create new content like text, images, audio, and video whereas large language models are kind of, it's a specific type of Gen AI designed for generating human-like text and code. So that said, let me start by saying what some of the positives are as I see them in Gen AI and AI more generally. So first, AI has long held this promise in education, long before Gen AI, because it allows us to personalize instruction at scale. In my lab at Carnegie Mellon, for instance, we built intelligent AI-driven tutoring systems and learning games, such as my digital game Decimal Point, which is a game for middle school math learning. And we consistently see that there's significant learning gains in randomized classroom studies. Second, ChatGPT, which is the big exemplar of LLMs, although there are many others, has been shown to lead to benefits in learning perception, and higher order learning. There was a recent meta-analysis of 51 research papers between November 2022, when ChatGPT first came to the scene, and the end of 2025, that showed in 51 studies benefits of AI. Third, Gen AI can help teachers by automating tasks such as grading, providing basic feedback, scheduling, and helping them to draft their lesson plans and generating summaries. And that frees up instructors to do other more complex teaching activities. A fourth thing that AI can offer is 24/7 access to learning resources and support. And that makes education more accessible to students with different diverse schedules and also those with disabilities. And then finally, Gen AI can act as a collaborator, assisting students in tackling complex problems, designing various artifacts, and exploring innovative solutions.
And so then what are some of the downsides or risks in education that we're seeing?
Recent work with Gen AI and large language models has shown something important. More AI does not automatically produce more learning, so they're not directly correlated, and that's very important.
So how can AI support personalized learning and improve student engagement and outcomes? What have you found?
What we're seeing is AI is able to basically diagnose misconceptions that students have, and then based on that, being able to identify what are the best next problems to give to students. We've actually been doing that for quite some time before even Gen AI came out, but I think it's actually more powerful now, and we can engage in sort of a dialogue around it in that personalization. So that's one of the things, and that's how I've used it, and how some of my colleagues have used it. It's an important use. One point to make about that is one thing that hasn't been completely established is how you sort of maintain kind of a memory of what each student is doing. Gen AI, for instance, ChatGPT does have a memory when you interact with it of what you're doing, but it doesn't have a memory of everything about your background. And that's one of the things we try to do in AI and education, is have like a model of what a student knows, so that we can better devise content for students.
And then how is AI changing the role of teachers and just reshaping classroom dynamics?
And first of all, I know this is one of the general fears, but AI really doesn't replace teachers. It changes what they do. So in our classroom deployments of intelligent tutoring systems, for instance, teachers use dashboards, as they're called, to see where students are struggling conceptually and procedurally, and what they're problem solving and what they're learning. And that shifts the teacher's role from delivering information to diagnosing and orchestrating learning, or managing learning. But it also makes classrooms, way more complex. So teachers have to be able to interpret in real time this AI feedback, and manage student reliance on AI tools, and maintain social norms in the classroom. So AI increases the strategic dimension, of teaching rather than automating it away.
And why is this topic just so important? Why should people care?
Because I think AI is here to stay. I know there's, in some quarters and even, many people I know personally are, resistant to change. And they think, they see it as kind of an evil that's coming in to our society. But just like the many technologies that have been created over time, the emergence of the car, the emergence of the TV, those kinds of things. At first, people were scared about those technologies and thinking they would be bad for society. But it's here to stay.
Would that be your main message today?
Yeah, I think it would. And maybe to say just a little bit more about that, I just like to emphasize that in general and across all of the research that my lab does and that most of my colleagues do, is the consistent finding is that AI is most powerful when it supports thinking, not when it replaces it. And the same is true of how AI impacts teachers and instruction more generally. It's most powerful when it supports teachers and doesn't replace them. So we should be thinking of it more as, a companion to us rather than, worrying, being scared about it replacing us and something that we should get rid of. We need to figure out how to gainfully use it.
Our thanks to Professor Bruce McLaren from Carnegie Mellon University, who's been studying AI in education for more than 20 years. And that'll do it for us here at State Broadcast News in Cherry Hill. I'm Steve Lubetkin. Lisa, back to you.
And finally, here is our very own Alan Swanson.
Just hours before his term of office ended in January, Governor Murphy signed a bill passed by the New Jersey legislature. The bill created regulations in New Jersey that will basically assure the end of the use of e-bikes in the state. The creation of this bill, its progression through the legislature, and its implementation are examples of, in my opinion, the worst manner our government leaders should address an issue of concern. First, some background. Until this year, New Jersey had regulations that identified electric motor-assisted bicycles in 3 categories. Class 1 bikes with a power assist when you are pedaling. Class 2 power assist when pedaling or when using a throttle. Both did not permit power assist above 20 miles per hour. Class 3 was a larger, more powerful bike that could exceed 20 miles per hour with battery assist. Class 1 and Class 2 did not require licenses, registration. Class 3 did require a license and registration, according to the 2019 law passed in New Jersey. The new law, which goes into effect in July, eliminates all 3 classes of e-bikes and refers to all as motorized vehicles and imposes the following. All e-bikes must be registered. All e-bike riders must have either a New Jersey driver's license or an e-bike license. All e-bikes require liability insurance. No one under 15 may ride an e-bike, and a special license is required for those 15 and 16 years old or those who do not possess a New Jersey driver's license. These requirements are the strictest in the USA by far and are, in my opinion, ridiculous. The reasons I have that opinion are much more complex than I can cover in this commentary, so I will only focus on the absurd reasoning of the legislature in passing this law, which, incidentally, passed with bipartisan support. First, why was this bill introduced? Nicholas Scutari, president of the New Jersey Senate, said that He proposed the changes after several high-profile crashes in which a 13-year-old, a 22-year-old, and 2 teenagers riding e-bikes were hit and killed by motorists. Seems fair enough, until you realize this bill does not address any of the circumstances that resulted in the tragedies mentioned by Senator Scutari. Speaking of implementation of the law, it is a disaster so far. I went to 3 different cycle shops this week, each selling e-bikes. At one, the person I spoke to refused to comment. At another, the owner was very helpful and provided some information regarding pushback on the law. At the third, the owner had gone to a motor vehicle office and was given the wrong information. He expressed his disdain for this process. One of the problems that we are having is that the law passed in 2019 for Class 3 bikes and high-powered bikes on the road has never been implemented or enforced. There is nothing in this law that will change the behavior of drivers of cars or bicycles except the age restrictions on use and helmet requirements. Will it decrease the number of people riding bikes? E-bikes? You bet it will. Will there be changes in the law to correct some of the issues? Who knows? Governor Sherrill was asked about this and has stated that she is unable to make changes. It must come from the legislature. I've not addressed every troubling part of this bill and law, or the couple of areas I agree with. I have focused on the faulty reasoning used to make the legislature feel good about supposedly doing something they believe will protect people. It will not. What will happen? I don't know. But I agree with Cycling Weekly magazine when they say this is a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad e-bike law. I'm Alan Swanson. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Real Good News. We'll be away for the rest of April, but we will return on May 3rd. So please be sure to subscribe to our channel. And until then, I'm Lisa Allen with a reminder that real good news is always worth sharing.
Now, Allah is halfway around the world. For the truth can put on its pants. Tell the truth. So my mission without fail is helping you prevail. You got to give the truth a fighting chance. Tell the truth. Beauty is truth, truth is beauty, and it's my civic duty to always write a reality. More than love, money, fame, more than rip on your good name.
I can tell you something else about the truth. It will
Set you free on the road to truth you take. There's only 2 mistakes.